My name is Sergey, and I work as a QA automation engineer in a company called Real Defense. I like my job because it allows you to learn a lot of new things. When I came into my company, we didn't have any automation at all. Automation unfriendly, so to speak, environment. So we didn't have anything. And when I came in my company, we had to rebuild a few processes, in our company to make it more automation friendly so I could do my job. Yeah, so I started with API framework. So as I mentioned, we provide a few cybersecurity products, and all of these products, it's desktop applications. So they are Windows-based desktop applications, and all connection with outer world, so to speak, it goes through the API. My first critical task was to build API framework to cover all the endpoints and cover all manual test scenarios that guys performed manually. We have three manual QAs, and I started to work on it, and I built the framework so they use it on databases right now. It's important. I think it's important to mention that I have an IT background, but it's not related to any software. So I have an IT background in system administrator. I work as a system administrator. It's hardware, so it's sort of different thing. But when I came here in the United States, I started to Google what professions are in demand in IT field, I mean. And I found out that QA is in demand. It's very popular. It was back in 2015. I took a Silicon Valley bootcamp, QA-related bootcamp, which gave me a pretty comprehensive knowledge in that field. And it was basics. So they gave me a foundation. And I spent a lot of time on self-learning. So let's say I learned SQL by myself. I learned API basics by myself again. So that kind of thing. But again, bootcamps are really useful for that. I would also mention that in 2020, I took a bootcamp in Engenious University on Android automation with Espresso. It was really great. I liked it. So it was a huge amount of knowledge, new experience. And some of this knowledge I use today on a daily basis, like how to use the GitHub, how to deal with merge requests and so on, code reviews. However, this bootcamp would be really useful for people who want to work in mobile automation, native mobile automation. I would say that I'm 100% sure that this knowledge will be useful for me in the future, most likely, because mobile automation is always in demand, and I kept all that classes. I downloaded it and I still keep it on my laptop. So technical knowledge may fade in your head, from your head, but if you do not use it. If you do not use this knowledge, you may forget something and so on. So yeah, I keep all that classes on my laptop. So I'm sure sooner or later I'll come back to it. I started to work as a manual QA tester. I loved it. I really loved it. But I worked for 4 years on my first job. In my first company, and first 2 years were fine. So I loved my job. So I really enjoyed it. But then, I started to stagnate. I started to understand that I'm tired of it. I wanted to change something, I I get tired of my manager. I get tired of what I do, and I wanted to change something. And I knew that there is the next step would be to go to automation field, to learn automation. But in 2015 to 2017, again, as far as I remember, there weren't any boot camps. Maybe they did exist, but I didn't know about them, and I didn't know what to do. What's the starting point? What to do next? What's next? And so on and so on. So I started to hate my job, and I even wanted to quit from IT and do something else. To sell some products on Amazon, something like that. Yeah, But then I talked to one friend of mine. He's a developer, and he said that, look, Sergey, you have to sit and think what you have to do, what step you have to do in order to grow, in order to go to to this step by step to grow in your profession, in your experience, in your salary, in your career, and so on. So what is the next step for you? What will be the next step for you, so to speak? And I came home, and I started to to write down. So what will be the next step? Next step is to go into automation field, but I do not know any programming language. So my first step will be learn programming language, and I opened YouTube and just typed Java for beginners, and I found awesome course, probably 50 videos. They are 5 to 10 minutes long, and the teacher is really great. So he explains very thoroughly every subject, and it took me probably three months to learn Java on a basic level. But again, it was enough to step into automation field, QA automation field. And after that, I took a boot camp. I found one boot camp. It was one of the first boot camps, QA automation boot camps. And I started to learn, and I understood that, wow, that's what I want to do. I was really excited about it. And when you create your first automation script, when you create a code which you run and it opens the page, it opens, I don't know, some hypothetical web page. Google, type something and click go. It was, I was really excited. So yeah, step by step, I learned this topic. I went on the job market, started to search for a new job, automation job, and I understood that I know nothing. I know probably 25% of what is really necessary to know in order to get a job, in order to pass automation interview. It took me probably 6 months to understand it. So I failed a lot of interviews. I failed interviews on Amazon, on I don't know, a lot of companies which I really regret. So if I was prepared enough, and if I knew beforehand what I had to learn, what I had to know, I would prepare, and probably I would not fail all these interviews. Again, I sat down, I took a piece of paper and started to write down, to think, what else do I have to learn? So I purchased a few courses on Udemy. It took me, I don't know, $30-40, because Udemy courses are pretty affordable. And I purchased a few courses on Udemy, especially courses aimed to prepare for an interview. Course for SDATs and course for interview preparation on QA automation position. And I completed these courses. I went to the job market again, and I got 2 job offers just in a couple of weeks. My main source of information is a LinkedIn news page. So I just opened the LinkedIn and scroll down the news page and see what's going on in QA field, QA automation field. So yeah, I'm subscribed to a lot of groups, QA automation groups, and yeah, that's my main source of information. If I would go back in time, I would start to learn programming language, some classic programming language, in parallel with my main manual QA job. Maybe maybe Java or Python, because it would give me a basis for my growth, for my next step into QA automation field. Never stop learning. Never stop learning, because I would say that your knowledge is that treasure that no one could take from you.